So this is Manic Minor, what we have so far. We've got the Guardians up there, and we're just going to plow straight back into getting this game up and running. Okay, so I am running this version of Unity. Let me just go into here. Is version 5.6. So version 5.6 is the one that I'm using. What I will do is, when we're done with the series, I'll do like an extra bonusy type video. It'll be like 5 minutes of me converting it over to Visual Studio 2017, because I've never done that before. So yeah, I'm gonna do that at the end. Okay, so I came across. Let me just get that over there. Came across this great website. This is schoolkit.ca. So this is I'm assuming Canadian because it's .ca. So hello, and it's Richard. Let me just scroll right down to here. Yeah, it's created by this tool that Richard's created called Schoolkit, which is for school days, and he's managed to sort of disassemble Manic Minor using it. And so if you go to here, the routines, for example, so this is the main loop. So you go in here and it explains, everything that, I'll just zoom in a little bit, it explains everything that Matt Smith was writing, and what was happening in the code, and then he describes it in English. So it's a really cool website, so thank you for that, Richard. We'll be borrowing that when we actually do the code, because some of the caverns don't fit in the general Manic Minor runs, picks up items, goes to the portal. So there's a couple of tricky ones, like the Eugene's Lair special, and also Willy and the Willy meets the Kong Beast is special, and I think the last final cavern is special as well. So we have that, but we're going to stick with her. This is Dr. Andrew Broad's Manic Minor format that we've been using. So we got as far as special graphic guardian graphics, and I think we're done at that point, but this is only the data. We don't actually have graphics minor. We need graphics minor. So appendix E. Okay. So appendix E address is 32768. So that's the first second 32K of RAM. Is in there. So this is the upper 20K, which is addresses there with the room data stored. I've discovered usable. Okay. Right, so we're not going to bother about the text. We don't really care about that. In-game tune. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. So hopefully this still exists. Nope. Let me see if I can find Richard Hallis. Music Minor. Who knows? After a quick. Oh, there you go. There's Cities. Maybe Cities is still going. Oh, there you go. Sweet. Okay. So what we can do is we can figure out how to get the music done, and we can actually one of the videos I want to do for this month in September, if I haven't already done it, I may have done it. I don't know, because I'm shooting these kind of out of order and then sort of put me sitting in Google. Anyway, I'm wasting a lot of time in this video explaining it. Anyhow, so I don't know if you've seen the video that I've done this in, so this might be old news to you. Okay, so we have all that. And we have our Manic Minor there. All right, good. Okay, so we need to do a couple of changes to our code here. So our room store. So we have our room renderer. We have our room store. So the room store only gets some of the data. We actually have to get a whole bunch of other things as well. And so this video might be just a kind of tidying up of things, but I do want to get Manor, Willy's sprites. That's what I'm kind of aiming for today, because I want to be able to draw them, and then when we move them, you can see the color clash. That's the sort of the goal of today's video. Okay, so here is the importer, and this is, where does this do this? So this is, needs to go to snapshot importer. Okay, so call the first 27 bytes. So I'm writing that start index is 27, and then I've got that there. So that's the first 48k, and then offset is, just to make this difficult for myself. So inside here, so the offset is 45, whatever it is. So why do I offset from 16? So if I seek offset 32768 or whatever it is. So if I do, let's do public list byte Manor Willy sprites get turn sprites. Okay, we do that, and then we do private list. Oops. Okay, so we do that there, and then what we can do is when we import we import the rooms here. This is our snapshot importer. We seek to that offset, and then what we can do is we can do importer dot. Oh, I'm using it there. I need to keep it inside here, because this is going to get disposed of as soon as it hits this brace here, because this is disposable. So if you go to here, you see that we've implemented disposable, which means that we close everything off and clean everything up and do all that kind of good funky stuff, which I haven't done yet actually. Whoops. Okay, so let's do that then. So we've got these three here. So I wonder if this version of, oh, I'm in 5.6, so I can't. Okay, so I'm going to do writer dot dispose close, reader dot close, and then ms dot dispose. Okay, so that cleans everything up after we've finished with it. So in this point here, I want to, according to the docs, I want to go to 32768. Except I want to go to 33280. Okay. So I want to do importer dot seek, and then that offset, and then there are 8 sprites. Int I equals 0, I less than 8, I plus plus, and then I want to say buffer, so that's going to be a byte buffer, and that's going to be sprite equals, and then I'm going to do importer dot get dot read byte, and then the length is, how many lengths is it? So it's 32 bytes, and then we do sprites dot add sprite, and that should get us. So let's put a breakpoint here, because when we seek, when we seek to here, why is it doing? So what did we do here? So we seek to here, and then why did we do this again? I don't know why we did that again. I don't know why we did the offset. Clearly, I mean, the 16K is the first 16. The first 16K of RAM in a Spectrum is the ROM. So maybe I should go back to the first video and try and figure out why I did that. So yeah, I don't know why we did that, but for whatever reason, we should end up with this data. So I'm just gonna guess that that's correct, and I am going to go to, where's the screen renderer? Is it room renderer? So room renderer is a terrible name. We actually have to come up with like a rendering thing, and to be honest, I'm kind of hacking this code together. But so I've got draw room, draw items. So inside here, I'm going to have draw Manor Willy, and I'm going to pass in the data for that. In reality, maybe what I'll do when this game's finished is I'll do a video where I actually tidy it up and make it like proper, like object-oriented code, because right now it's very C-like. Okay, but that's room data. That's not what I want. So I've got a list of mobs. Maybe I want a mob is this guy here. Okay, maybe I don't want a mob. Maybe I actually want, that's the frame there. Maybe I actually want to pass in Manic Minor data. So maybe I want to pass in Minor Willy instead. So Minor Willy is going to be that there. So we haven't defined Minor Willy yet, but we're going to define Minor Willy just now. So Minor Willy is a mob, except he's not really a mob, he's a horizontal guardian. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to so we've got a mob here, so I'm going to create a base class for a mobile object, and I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it? So it's a base class, so I'm going to call it movable. I'm just going to call it movable object, because it's an object that can move. So it's a movable object, and we don't need that, and we don't need any of this. But what we do need is we need all of this here. So I'm going to take all of this out. I'm going to take that out there. I don't know why we get start frame separate to this, but whatever. I'm going to take that out there. We're going to put that inside here. We're going to take movable object out, and we're going to make that implement that. And then I'm not sure if we use these values, so I'm going to comment them out for just now. And then the start x is g.startx and g.startx. Okay, so I don't think we're doing anything. That's a capital S there because it's a property. Okay, so I think that's okay. So because I want to have Minor Willy is going to extend all this stuff as well. Minor Willy can't be found, of course. So I'm going to create another type here called Minor Willy. Why am I calling him Minor Willy? That's the name of the character. It's Manic Minor, but he's called Minor Willy. The sequel to this game, which you can guess it, is coming after we've done this one. The sequel to this game is called Jet Set Willy. So what happens is he finds fame and fortune in the caves of Suburbiton, and he ends up becoming rich, and he has a huge big party, and he gets a bit drunk, and he passes out and wakes up in the bathroom. So he decides he's going to go to bed. But his landlady, his housekeeper, won't let him. So he has to clean up after himself, and so that's what the sort of sequel is. Okay. So that being said, oh yeah, so I need to get rid of that first of all there, and I'll comment that out for just now. So I just want to make sure that we haven't broken anything with the mobs. Okay, that's fine. Right, so now we can break stuff. So there's Minor Willy, and then we're going to pass in Minor Willy, and that's going to be fine. And then Minor Willy is going to have public list byte frames, and add that there. And then I want to I've got to do private set in here because it's the old version of C#. So annoyingly, the older version of C# doesn't have a lot of the features that I'm kind of used to now. So all right, so our mob has all of this here, so we're going to pass in this stuff. So we're just going to pass it in a oneer. So public Minor Willy byte frames int start x, int start y, int current frame, that kind of thing. And oh yeah, the attribute as well. So I need to do attribute. Oops, I'll do that as the last one. Okay, so we'll do attribute equal to that. It's not that, is it? It's ZX attribute. What's it called? I can't remember now. Oh, it's just a byte, that's why. Okay, so that's the current frame. Well, we'll call it start frame, just to make it consistent. And then left and right is an integer, so we'll do int left, int right, left, right, start x, and then finally start y. And we get rid of these. So it's almost the exact same as the previous one. It's just really a different constructor. And then what we'll do is we'll do frames equals new list. Why did that not pick up? Frames equals new list frames dot add range frames. Okay, so that will add everything onto there, and I can get rid of these usings because I'm not using them. And what else do we need to do here? Okay, I think we're good there. So inside our draw screen, so this gets called in here, from here. Room renderer draw screen, this is the game controller. Okay, so the room data comes from there, comes from the room store. So store, I think, Minor Willy sprites. Okay, that's where our Minor Willy sprites come from. And then the room, the store, start. Okay, so we're gonna do, right, what we need to do is we need to get Minor Willy data from store and from the room. So this is a kind of like split of responsibilities, because the sprite information is generic for the whole game, but the room data it leads to having where the start position is. So I need to get that information. So var minor Willy equals new minor Willy, And then we've got our frames, which comes from store, so that's store.Manor Willy sprites. The start X is from the room, so we need to actually get the room later on here. So I need to do it. Oh no. What did I do? That's what I did. I'm obviously not pressing the control key down enough. Does that make sense? So room data dot Manor Willy start dot X, room data dot Manor Willy start dot Y. I don't know what left and right are. I can't actually remember. Do we even have it for here? I don't think we do. I think we just need to know what that is, because I think the horizontal and vertical sprites have it for there. So if we go back to here, horizontal guardian for each, and you want to create a new mob G, the horizontal guardians themselves have a left and a right. Okay, so that's right. I think the left and the right is from there. So for us, that's the facing right frame. So facing right is 0, facing left is 4. Okay. Go back to game controller. So facing left is 4, facing right is 0. Start frame, I'm going to say you're going to be facing right, so that can be 0. And then the attribute is room data dot attribute. Do we have attributes? No, we don't. It's gonna be what do we do is room renderer. I think in room renderer we actually clear everything to 7 and 0. So 7 and 0. So ZX attribute. Ink random version. Oh, let's do it from in here. It's easier in here. Where's the attribute? Color attributes. Okay, so ink and paper. So ink is 7. So we set it to 7. And then everything else goes to 0, and then that's us. So that means we've got, if we set it to 7, then that means ink is white and everything else is black. So 7. And so draw screen takes in Manor Willy and then mobs. So we need to put that in here. Manor Willy, and we'll, for consistency, we'll put private in there. And move some of these around just to tidy things up. And then inside our draw screen, we've got draw screen here, which then calls the draw screen for the render, and then the draw screen draws the horizontal guardians, and I'm going to nick some of these informations here. So our Manor Willy is this here, and we're going to have to come up with the actual frame for him. So the frame is going to be, well, it's going to be the start frame, so that's fine. So I'm going to call it, just for shortness, I'm going to call it M, rather than having to type in everything over and over again. Actually, what I should have done was just called it G, and then I could have renamed it, but you get the picture. And then data guardian graphic, and then it's m.frame, and then instead of data.guardian graphic, it's going to be m.frames mframe. Okay, and that draws Manor Willy. So you can see that it's very similar to the code that we did for the horizontal guardian. So hopefully this should just work. There you go. I was right, it did work. Okay. So that's Minor Willy. So when we want to move Minor Willy, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Q and W keys. So we'll implement W just now and we'll come back and do Q. So we will, where are we? So Minor Willy, we want a game controller. Okay, so draw screen, and then we're going to have start coroutine move Willy. Minor Willy. You don't really need to pass this in here, but it's kind of nice for neatness. We're not really consistent with these naming conventions, but whatever. Or these accesses, I should say. So for this, I'm going to do while not game over. And so you see with these coroutines, they all take a kind of similar slant, is that you're going to do something until something happens, and that something happens is game over, and then you're just going to let people do what they need to do. So I'm going to say if input dot key get key is it get key? Yes, get key, and then you can specify the key code, and then it's W. So W is right, so it's QW. Actually, it's the alternating one, so it's QW ER TY YU OP are the left and right keys, and then spacebar was jump. So I'm going to say do that, and then I'm going to say Minor Willy dot frame plus equals 1. So I'm going to move you on to the next frame, and then I'm going to say if Minor Willy dot frame is greater than, what is he? Remember, like a sieve. 0, 1, 2, 3. So if it's equals 4. So if it's greater than 3, then Minor Willy dot frame equals 0. Minor Willy dot x plus plus. And then we do yield return new wait for seconds, which is going to be 0.25. So I'm going to wait a quarter of a second. And so every frame you're going to move forward, and then when he gets to the barrier, we're going to move him to the next frame, because the way that Manic Miner works is he's 16 by 16, but he only ever takes up 10. So he moves 8 pixels to, well, actually he moves 6 pixels because it's 3 frames. He moves, he moves 6 pixels. Then on the next one, we're moving him to a different column, and the columns are 8 by 8 characters, if you remember, 8 by 8 pixel characters. So when we move him, he will move that way. Fingers crossed. Oh, done it again. Okay. What I need to do is I need to have an else yield return null. I need to come out of here, or else it like does a really fast spin inside here and it doesn't work. So I've now broken everything, so I need to close everything down. Oh dear. Talk amongst yourselves. This is what happens. And you make these mistakes and you learn from it. See what I mean? It's running at like 26. There. Okay, so let's kill that. Bring it back up. Okay. And I mean, what we could do is we could probably just do a yield break there anyway, but don't want that. I want that. Okay, I'm gonna run here. Do 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 do. I don't want to attach the Unity, I just want to run it. stop that. Okay. And let's go. Okay, so when he... Seriously? How many videos has this done this in now? Okay, so we move to the right. It's a little bit stuttery, but you'll see that we now have a little bit of color clash. It's not the right color clash, but it's color clash. Okay, it's a bit too slow. We need to make him move a little bit faster. But in fact, he actually moves like he's underneath there. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we don't have a backwards yet. So we'll do that in just a sec. Okay, let's make that a timing thing. So I'm going to do cons float minor Willy speed equals 0. So 2.5 was too slow, so 3, 0.333 f. So that should be good. And then we'll do that there, 0.333. 0.333 is going to be slower, isn't it? So I had 2.5, let's make it 0.1. Just a tenth of a second. Probably too fast now. Well, that's okay. I'm a bit concerned the fact it's the other way around, so he should have actually gone red. So the room, we're drawing the room. Oh, we're drawing the room. Okay, I know why. Okay, we need to draw him before the room. He gets drawn before the room. So now what happens is he's gonna go red instead of the other color. So I think all the mobs have to be drawn before the room then. Okay, so he's now going to go red. There we go. Oh, there you go. Sweet. Let's try that one more time because it looks so good. I had this idea in my head that I was going to do all these like shaders and stuff and have all this, you know, attributes and things, and I was like, I'm just going to recreate the Spectrum screen. It's probably going to be quicker. And yeah. And so he goes behind there and he becomes that color there, and then he index out of range. That's fine. I knew that was going to happen. All right, so that is right. So let's handle left. So if input dot get key key code dot Q. I'll need to do an else if in here. Else if. So we'll have like an else if. So it's going to get a bit messy, but maybe we could change it to like a case statement or something. Do it that way. Okay, so what we want to do is actually we could do bool did move equals false, and then we can, instead of having this, we can do if did move, do that, else yield return null. So if Manic Minor did move, then we're going to do things there and there. So we're going to do did move equals true. And so we're going to do exactly the same thing here. So the start frame is that. So instead of 7, that it's going to be 7, and then instead of that it's going to be 4, and then instead of that it's going to be minus minus, and it's still the same thing. I think it's still advancing, although it's moving backwards, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say though, if minor Willy dot last frame, so if the current frame is less than 4, I'm going to add 4 to it. Manor Willy dot frame plus equals 4. So if you go the opposite direction, then he's got to start on the frame that it should be. Now I think if Matt has been clever here, and the man was a genius, I think that's the right code. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side that says if the frame is greater than 3, then I'm going to add 4 to it. Yeah. I'm going to subtract 4, sorry, from it. Okay. So the current frame is 0, and if you head right, then, okay, that should be good. Oh no! I missed my semicolon. Okay. And so. So we turn around. Oh, no. Not quite. Okay. So I'm guessing it is going to be frame minus equals 1. If frame is less than 4, frame equals 7. Okay. I think that's right. We'll see. Maybe I should just look at the frames. That'll never work. Okay, so we go forward, and then I go backwards. It worked! Guys, it's Manic Minor! Oh, it's so cool. You've no idea. I've wanted to remake this game so very long, and I just never got around to it. Oh, even cold coffee tastes lovely. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video today, and we'll leave in a victory. So we have color clash in. We have player movement as well. So yeah, so next time we'll maybe do some environmental animations. So we have the keys and whatnot to do. But yeah, I will end it there. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Hi guys, thank you very much for watching. This is part of the Video a Day in September 2017 videos. If you liked it or you didn't like it, hit the appropriate button below. Subscribe, so if you hit the little icon over there, then you'll get notified, especially when you hit the little alarm icon. That's the really important part apparently. Then you'll get notified when a new video goes up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.